Hello, my dear children. How are you all today? I hope you all are healthy and happy. So, children, for today's English lesson, we are going to begin a chapter from your Honeysuckle book. And this is going to be a poem from Unit 3 of your book. So, this is going to be the third poem, and the poem is called The Quarrel. So, this poem is written by Eleanor Forgeon, and she was a British poet. So Elena Forgeon usually used to write for children only, okay? All the stories, all the plays, all her novels were based on the life of children, okay? On life of people when they were children, okay? So here is also a story which is very common, which we have found in almost all houses, all people's life, okay, who have siblings or who have brothers and sisters or playmates, right? They might have some cousin or proper siblings, own brothers and sisters, and some of you might have sometimes or the other got into trouble with your brother or sister, right? I think so. If you have a brother and sister, I don't think there's a single house that did not break out because of this quarrel. Okay, so mothers and fathers always trying to resolve the issue between brothers and sisters. But you know, the main thing in this poem is not that they fight, okay, but it's just petty issues that we deal with in our daily lives, okay, and how the bond remains, how the love remains, okay. So here in this story we will be learning about the poet's childhood memory of the quarrel that took place between her and his brother. Sorry, her and her brother. Okay. So now let's move ahead with the text. You will find this chapter, you will find this poem on page number 39 of your Honeysuckle book. And now children, let's move towards reading the text. Okay. The Quarrel. It is common for brothers and sisters to quarrel. I told you all brothers and sisters fight, right? They get into arguments. They disagree a lot. Okay, if you want to go to Darjeeling on a vacation, your brother or sister might want to go to Shimla. Okay, so that's really common issue. Like you always fight for some issues like little ones also, sometimes for remotes, sometimes for mobile phones. Okay, you always get into some argument. Even these issues are not petty, but some issues can be like you don't remember only what happened between two. Okay, so you might have got into trouble or you might have got into a quarrel with your brother or sister. Although sometimes they may not be even be able to say why they quarrel. So if you ask that why did you hit your brother or why did you hit your sister, your parents might not get correct answers because you might not remember it. You also forget it, or you don't know why are you quarreling, because the matter is so trivial, it's so small that you don't remember why you got into the quarrel, right? Why you started fighting, you don't remember at all, but you fight, okay? Because maybe we enjoy it, maybe brothers and sisters like to maintain that kind of relationship, like always teasing each other, always quarreling with each other. But how long do such quarrels last? Okay, tell me, does it happen with you, like you have fought with your brother or you have fought with your sister and you do not talk to them for years or for days or for even hours? Has it happened? And if that has happened, that means your bond is not strong. But that usually doesn't happen, right? So we always end up making up. Now you have to remember, recall a memory that when you had your last fight or last quarrel with your brothers or sisters. So that will be an interesting topic to discuss, right? So think about a day when you got into a quarrel and think about the matter that was raised. What was the main reason for your quarrel. Find it, okay? Try to recall it from your memory, try to dig it. How do they end? Now, when you get into trouble, who makes the first move? Okay, who comes to solve the issue? You or your brother or sister? Who deals with it? Okay, who comes to term? Who makes peace? Okay, now we will be reading the lesson, reading the text, and we will get into the elements of the poetry. I quarreled with my brother. So this is in first person narration, right? She is telling about her own experience, of childhood. So, I quarreled with my brother. I don't know what about. So, one day she got into a fight. She got into an argument with her brother. Okay? I don't know what about. You know what the matter is, that they quarreled about something, but she cannot recall. Because she is now grown up, okay, and it is a childhood memory, so she cannot recollect what was the matter that they were fighting about. Okay, what they were quarreling about, she could not remember. One thing led to another. Now imagine this thing happening. You hit your brother, they hit you in return. You tell them one thing, they reply you back, or they blame you back. So this thing was happening here also. So what was happening? One thing led to another. What does it mean? That one after the other, the events were happening. It was happening in series. Okay, it was happening one after the another. That means he was blaming, she was blaming, and they were both continuously accusing each other, blaming each other. And somehow we fell out, okay? And somehow they stopped talking to each other. They fell out means what? They were in disagreement, they were in a fight, and they separated. Okay, they were not talking to each other anymore. They fell out means what? They got into a trouble and then they were separated. They had their own issues now. Okay, so the first 4 lines are done. Moving to the next 4 lines. The start of it was light. What is the poet saying? What is the author saying? That the start was very slight, okay? Means it wasn't strong, it wasn't very heated argument. When we started, it was just a small thing, and she even doesn't remember it, right? She told that she doesn't remember what happened, what was the matter. So here we can see that she is saying when the fight started, when the quarrel started, it was very slight, it was very small, okay? It was inconsiderable, means you can ignore it easily. The matter which was raised, the blame game started, okay? So all this matter was very small. It was nothing to fight about, but the fight started, okay? It usually happens. The end of it was strong. Now when it ended, they were now like very much aggressive. They were very much into argument, and they were very much angry with each other now, okay? So the start was slight, but the end was strong. Okay, and was very aggressive, very violent. He said he was right. I knew he was wrong. So what is she saying? That he told me that he was right. Means he was right getting into the argument. He was right in starting the argument and starting the quarrel, and we were fighting because we thought that we are very much right at our own places. This happens, right, with all of us. We think when we are fighting, when we are angry, when we are very much depressed, or when we are very much pissed off with someone, very angry, then what do? We think that we are right and they are wrong. So here also is happening the same thing. So here also we can see that she thought, because he was telling that I am right, and she knew that he was wrong. Okay. So yes, with this we have finished our first 8 lines. Okay, moving to the next 8 now. We hated one another. Now because the fight got so ugly, okay, they were fighting, they were quarreling so much. It grew so messy, it grew so ugly that they started hating each other. That I won't talk to you, you should not come near me, I am not going to talk to you forever. You make all these things, right? You make all these statements that I am not going to talk to you, I am going to complain it to my father, I am going to tell my mother. You tell all these things, right? You do this thing that when you are angry, and when you are angry especially with your brothers and sisters, with our brothers and sisters, the thing is very different. We share our hate and love relationship with them, right? Sometimes we hate them, sometimes we love them, but still the bond is there, right? Still the relationship is lasting. So now the afternoon turned black. Now what happens when you fight with your mother? What happens when you fight with your loved one? Okay, everything becomes so sad, everything becomes so gloomy, at least it seems so. Okay, when you are sad from within, you can't find happiness outside, right? So here also the same thing happened. She had fought with her brother and they had a really ugly fight because they blamed each other, and even she couldn't remember why they were fighting for. So when this quarrel grew, when this whole thing grew ugly, they had seen the afternoon turned black. So we can see the fight started when? It started in the afternoon only. And here it can mean one more thing by the phrase turned black. That means the fight had started in the afternoon, but it went till the night. So turned black can mean two things. First is, turned black means everything turned gloomy. A bright afternoon. Imagine when clouds appear in the sky. Okay, that afternoon, which is very bright, very nice, and you feel really energetic, really happy. Okay, suddenly when clouds come in, okay, they cover the whole sky. What happens? Darkness prevail, right? Darkness appear, and you suddenly start feeling the gloominess, you start feeling the darkness, and that is really depressing. Here also same thing happened. Their fight was so ugly, their fight was so much full of hatred that they started hating each other, and the afternoon turned black. Okay, then suddenly my brother, now what happens? Suddenly his brother does something. Now let's see what he does. Okay, thumped me on the back. What is thumping? Thumping is like hitting it on back. Okay, so his brother suddenly came from back and he hit her severely or heavily on her back. Okay, thumped me on the back. So the word thumped means hitting or striking heavily, especially with a fist. Okay, when you do that, usually you might have got a lot of fist if you have experienced. I have experienced. Okay, I think once. My brothers never hit me, so yeah, I think once maybe, if I can remember my childhood. That also was a pet issue, and I don't remember, like the authoress doesn't remember it, like the poetess doesn't remember it. Okay, so yeah, thumped me on the back and said, what did he say? What did he say? Let's find out. Oh, come along. He said, now don't, means it's night already. Okay, they had started their fight in the afternoon and now it's night time. So what does he say? That, oh, come along now. We can't go on all night. Now we have quarreled, afternoon is over, we are gloomy, we are sad, we are not playing with each other. Usually when we are at home with our siblings, they are our playmates, right? We quarrel with them, we play with them, we do stuffs together, we do a lot of things together, watch TV, play games, or create mess for our parents together, right? With siblings together, you are always a complete house of fun, like enjoyment, excitement. But here they have turned their whole afternoon black. Means they have not talked with each other. The parents are also concerned, obviously, because they are not talking to each other, and there's so much peace at house. Parents enjoy when there is peace at house, peace at home. So when there was so much peace, and he's saying, now come along, we can't fight all night, right? It's already night, we had started our fight in the afternoon. Now he hit her with a fist. He thumped her, and then he said, now come along, we can't go like this all night. We are not going to fight over, like, means they have quarreled, they have their share of heated argument, they have fought a lot, they had disagreed to everything they have said to each other. Now I was in the wrong, so he was in the right. Now, because she said, first paragraph we have seen in the first stanza, we had seen that he said that he was right, and she knew that he was wrong. So here we can see the brother accepted his mistake. He has come forward, he had made the first move, and he tried to settle out their quarrel. Okay, he came and he said that okay, I was wrong and I accept my mistake. Now come on, let's settle this fight. We are not going to continue this. So he was in the right. Now, like sisters, sisters and brothers, when one confessed that yes, I am wrong, so she said yes, you are right because you were wrong. So she was very happy, and their fight now settled out. Now children, this is such a beautiful poem, right? It reminds me, it's so much of nostalgia. When you have your brothers and sisters, childhood becomes so much fun. Without siblings, we can't imagine our life, right? We can't imagine our childhood, because all the memories of fun, of enjoyment comes from them. Because whatever we did, whatever we did to them, or whatever they did to us, was all fun, and we never took it by our heart, right? We never took it upon ourselves. We just resolved the matter because we knew the issues were really petty. Okay, they were very small issues. They did not grow long. With siblings, with brothers and sisters, with playmates, with even friends who are really close to us, we do not extend our fight. Okay, we do not quarrel with them. We do not take the fight into our head. Like these days now, we have seen that people always, whenever they get into heated argument, or whenever they get into disagreement, they stop talking to each other. But with siblings, with brothers and sisters, nothing happens, right? Because their bond is so strong, so pure, so loving, that they always come back together even after the ugliest and ugliest of fights. Okay, so here we had seen the poetess in a beautiful way tried to explain to us this bond. Okay, she tried to share her experience, and she knows that in each house we can see this thing. With our brothers and sisters, we celebrate, we rejoice, we actually create a lot of memories together. Okay, here also we had seen that she has a very pleasant memory, and you can say it's kind of pure nostalgia, right? She gets into the memory and she is revisiting the past, but she still knows deep down in her heart she holds her brother very close. So we all have our siblings and we all love them. In spite of all the quarrels we do with them, or all the quarrels, fights we get into, despite all these things, despite all the negative energy, we know that we have something really loving, and we care for them. Okay, we care for our brothers and sisters. That bond is inseparable or unbreakable. Okay, so children, with this I hope you understood the message of the poem, because it's so lovely, right? The message here is so lovely, that brothers and sisters always stay close to each other. Okay, by heart, by this bond, they are always tied together. Okay, so children, now you can see there are not enough questions in this chapter, but yes, we will be doing some questions, extra questions. And before that, let me because the meanings are also not too much, so we will be quickly finishing the meanings in this chapter, in this lesson for today, okay? And then in our next video lesson we will continue with the question answer, and then we will follow working with the poem part, okay? So let me get started with the meanings first. So the first word is quarrel. Okay, quarrel. It means, you can simply write fought, okay, just fought is a good word, or if you want to know a detailed meaning for this one, it has to be to have a heated argument, or disagreement, okay? Number 2, slight. Slight means small. Or inconsiderable, which cannot be considered, okay? Which shouldn't be considered, it should be ignored. Inconsiderable. Okay? Number 3 now. Thumped. Thumped means to hit or strike heavily, with, especially with the feast, okay, especially with the feast. So children, you can just take a screenshot quickly so that I can move ahead with the rest of the meanings. This one is a semicolon. Okay. Okay children, moving with the next. Here I erase the word meanings also, I'll have to write it again. Moving to number 4. Number 4 is turned black. As I told you, it can mean two things. This phrase can mean two things. First is to become unpleasant. And second one, I won't be writing, you know that the day changed from day to night. They had a really long quarrel. And last is fell out. Fell out is to have disagreement, Okay children, I'll write this poet. Disagreement. To have disagreement and then separation. Okay. To have disagreement and then separation. So yes. So children, there were not enough meanings. I told you there were not many meanings here, not enough. Okay, there were not many meanings here. So we are done with the meanings now for today. So children, because we have time, so we can start working with the poem as well. So let's get started with that one. The first question for working with the poem is, and with your partner, try to guess the meaning of the underlined phrases. And somehow we fell out. Okay? Fell out, I just made you write the meaning, but we will be writing a little different meaning. So wait for me. The afternoon turned black. I wrote the meaning for turned black also. So let's write it down. Let's complete that. Now first one, working with the poem part. This is on page number 40 children. So this is page 40. Working with the text, with the poem. Okay. So now one for this one, one. And somehow we fell out. This sentence is on page number 39 only. You can see there. And somehow we fell out. Here means to have disagreement. Okay. Fell out. To have disagreement or quarrel. To have disagreement or quarrel. Okay. Next one is number 2. The afternoon turned black. The afternoon turned black. Turned black. Okay. So here we see turned black means turned gloomy, okay? Become gloomy. Become gloomy. Okay, so here we have the answers for the first one. Now children, read these lines from the poem. That part we are going to continue in our next lesson, okay? And we will be doing some extra questions as well. So join me in your next video lesson, and then we will be finishing this chapter. I hope you enjoyed the story because I did. And please get me some interesting stories for your online classes. Please get me some interesting events or quarrel that you have with your brother or sister. Okay, so we can have fun and enjoy the stories from you all dear students. Okay, so thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Bye bye.